Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about a portable water purifier, the RO purifier, that I received from Purewell. I have a mini adventure coming up with some friends as well as my wife, and we are going to Brazil. We're going to be trekking throughout the day, but we're going to be stationary at a campsite, but I was told that there is no potable water, so bring water purifiers. I do have a bunch of personal water purifiers. I've actually reviewed them on here before, but I wanted something that was going to be more for a group. There's about 6 to 10 of us, from what I understand, and I wanted it to be convenient, and I wanted to make sure that it really works. The purifiers that I actually use out in the field have between 4 and 6 stages of purification. Well, this RO purifier that I'm about to show you has a 10-stage filtration system. Now that's extremely important no matter where you're purifying your water, but especially now that I'm going to be in a completely different continent, in an area that I'm very unfamiliar with. I want to make sure strongest possible purification that I could get for me as well as for my family and friends. So far I'm very impressed with this RO purifier, and if you want to know more about it, stay tuned and keep watching. So first thing we want to do is prep the actual filter. So here I'm actually going to turn the compass clockwise, exposing the actual filter. Has a little handle here. Lift it up. I got the filter out. In the manual it actually says that there would be some plastic wrapping or a seal on this filter. I do not see any, so I do not need to remove it. On the bottom you can see that there are 3 holes on the filter inside the actual purifier that are actually like 3 little spouts that go and match up with the 3 holes. So be sure that they are lined up, and go ahead and place the filter back in, and take your compass cover, fix that on top, and you are good to go. So the next thing we want to do is we want to get this white pipe or hose, let's say, and it's called the raw water pipe. From there you're going to want to grab your 2 little floats, place them on there, come back. From there we want to get this little pre-filter. Let's go ahead and get it out of its packaging. Okay, now from there we do have the pre-filter ready to go, and all you're going to do is take the end here that had the 2 little floats, and we're going to go ahead and just connect this end, just basically pushing it through into this pre-filter. Okay, so now on the housing of this purifier, there is a little compartment here on the bottom that says raw, pure, and dirty. You're going to go ahead and remove that rubber cover, and it'll expose these little nozzles or intakes. Remove the little stopper that's in there, and from here we're going to go ahead and hook the white hose or pipe into the raw compartment here. Okay, now we have the blue pipe. I still want to keep calling it a hose, but everything's referred to here as a pipe. So we have the pure water pipe, the blue, and now this blue will go into the pure, so you'll want to go ahead and remove the little stopper and just go ahead and push that 1/4-inch pipe as far as it'll go into the pure. Okay, now we have the 3rd and last pipe, and this is for your dirty water. So once again you'll have the port that is labeled dirty down here. Once again, remove the stopper and just insert the pipe. Okay, so now here we have the faucet. The faucet itself, the faucet has this little nut. Go ahead and unthread the nut, place the faucet through the hole here, and then just go ahead and fasten the nut onto the housing. Okay, so now we have this other coupling that I had showed you earlier. We're going to go ahead and connect the blue hose, which is actually your purified water. Once it does get purified, you'll insert that into the coupling, and then the other end gets inserted to the bottom of the faucet. Keep in mind that if you don't want to use the faucet and you're using, let's say, a container hydration pack or whatever, obviously you would just feed the blue hose or the purified water into whatever container that you actually want to fill. For the purposes of this demo, we'll be using the actual faucet. As you can tell here, there is a full display panel, and once again, in the manual, it'll explain every little icon, what it does, and what its purpose is. As I mentioned, I'm using my power bank to charge the purifier, and once again, it's already at 50% charge, so keep in mind that it does have an internal battery, so if you do fully charge it before you use it, you won't have to hook it up to a power source, obviously until it fully drains. And you could also use that Type-C port that's on the purifier to actually charge your mobile devices, phone, iPad, flashlights, you name it. Now, as far as the power button, if you press it and hold it down for 3 seconds, you can turn it on. Once again, if you repeat that, opposite happens. You'll actually turn it off. Just hold it down for 3 seconds. If you press twice shortly, you'll turn on the built-in light. If you press once shortly, you'll start or stop the actual filtration. And if you do 3 quick presses, you'll actually turn on the SOS light. Okay, so now when it comes to the lifespan of the filters, the actual pre-filter lasts up to about 500 gallons. The RO filter lasts for 3,000 gallons, and the UV lamp is built to last a lifetime. Now, as the purifier is actually charging, you'll see a little indicator that'll tell you the level of the actual battery, and there is a red light. Once it's red, it's charging, and it'll shut off once it's fully charged. You will find my affiliate link in the description, and from there you can get a lot more specs and detailed information on this Purewell water purifier. So I went ahead and grabbed some water out of my pool. My pool is not filthy at the moment, but it's certainly not purified. I wouldn't drink out of it. So this little tub would act as my water source. If you're out in the field, it would be a stream, or it would be a pond, any other water source that you would find out there that you want to make potable. And now this white hose with the pre-filter on it and the little floats would actually be what goes into your water source. As you can tell with the pre-filter here, would clean out any sediment or anything that you would find, let's say, in a lot dirtier water than what I'm actually using for this demonstration. So we'll go ahead and just, like I said, make believe this is a lake or a stream. And for right now, I'm just placing it in there. Now the red pipe or red hose is for the excess water. As it's being cleaned and filtered out, you're always going to have some residual. So that I'm just going to put out to the side. Fall on my pavers, not a big deal. And then that leaves us with the third hose, which is where the pure and clean water is going to come through. And I have it hooked up to the stainless steel faucet for this demonstration. But as I mentioned earlier, if this is going to fill up your hydration pack, a canteen, water bottle, a pot that you're going to cook with, once again, anything that you're going to use for water gathering, that pure water, you'll want the blue hose to be the one that's actually filling that up out of the 3 hoses or pipes. So I'm going to go ahead, hold the power button down for 3 seconds to actually turn it on. And now we have it on. I'm going to go ahead and hit the power button again once to actually start the filtration. And there we go, everything's coming up. The cool thing about this is that you don't really have to worry about any other settings. It's just a matter of turning it on and off. Everything else gets done automatically by the purification system. And from what it states, it takes about 30 seconds or so for it to prep itself and do what it needs to do. I can tell the actual white hose is shaking a bit. So it's obviously doing what it has to do to prep that filter. And it's good because initially, of course, you want to get out any extra chemicals that might have been on there from the factory. Also cleaning out, that goes for the faucet itself. The hoses, might even want to rinse them out before your actual first use. Or keep that in mind in your first couple drinks. Don't drink it, dump it out, and just take that as a cleanse of your water purifier. So you do want to make sure that that pre-filter is fully submerged in your water source. If not, the actual purifier will think that there's no more water left, so it'll shut off. Okay, so as I previously mentioned, this water does seem like it has a little tone to it. So what that is really just the excess chemicals that are in the filter need to be flushed out. So always be sure to run a good amount of water through your filter before you actually begin drinking. Most likely it'll just, nothing that's in here would be bad for you. It would just be probably not, it would just most likely not taste too good. Okay, so we'll try that again. Add some more water here. Now that we actually ran through a few of these glasses that I'm actually filling up. And the water's already coming out much clearer, much cleaner. So just like any other filter, whether it's a personal filter, whether it's a filter that you're utilizing at home, you always want to get it prepped before your actual initial use. Okay, let me go ahead and shut this off as far as the faucet. And we have a nice, clean glass of purified water. Give it a quick taste. Not bad at all. Tastes like very clean water. Also, in the link that I'll place in the description, you'll have access to a QR code where you could go ahead and scan it, and you could get all the detailed information on the certification process and all the tests that were run on these filters that have been tried and tested to prove how pure the water that you're getting out of this purification system truly is. This purification system also has a compass, which is pretty cool in a pinch, especially if you are using this in an outdoor scenario. Cool that it's part of this unit, because that way you won't lose it. There is also a light that is built into the purification system. So once again, in a pinch, you have a built-in light that'll give you some good illumination, as well as signaling SOS if you ever need that option. Now, before I go ahead and stow it away for my upcoming mini adventure, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the hoses, the pipes, let them drain. I went ahead and turned this on, took the actual pre-filter out of the water, ran it so that it'll get rid of any excess water that's in this filter, as well as the actual internal filter. I'm leaving everything out for a few hours to air dry before I go ahead and put everything back into the case. I suggest you do the same every time that you do utilize your purification system, whether it's at home, whether it's out in the field, unless you are using it on a continual basis, such as home use. So bottom line, if you are in the market for a purifier, one that is a 10-stage purifier, has some extra bells and whistles like a compass as well as a flashlight, and it might sound like something that's nominal, but if you're out in the field and you get caught without those things, or the ones that you did bring do not work, it's really nice to have those backups. I'm definitely a big fan of redundancy, especially when it comes to illumination as well as navigation. With those things in mind, and the comfort and the ease, and having a backup battery to charge mobile devices in a pinch, I definitely give this water purification system a thumbs up. And if you are interested, I strongly suggest that you take a closer look at this purification system from Purewell.